Okay, look, thank you for being here today, Minister. Certainly the champions in the face of adversity are the Leaving Cert students of 2020 and 2021. I think they'll go down in history as being that group in our state that really faced adversity, faced the most extraordinary and unprecedented circumstances. I really welcome the dual assessment aspect of this bill and putting it on a statutory footing. We need to prepare for every eventuality and this certainly does that, and having the option, although we have 80% going for the traditional exam, but having that second option as a backdoor or a support, a safety net, I think is really important. It is wise and they deserve it. I think that I suppose I would ask the question on that COVID disruption planning, what we have in place for that to ensure, because I know in November a number of students had the experience of being ready to go in on Saturday morning for their exam, and on Friday night a family member being classified as a close contact, and then they couldn't go in. So we certainly need some sort of contingency, and while we're a long way along the road and we have vaccinations and all of the rest, at the same time we need to ensure that devastation doesn't reoccur for a student at the height of these exams. I wonder about the legacy of 2020, and I certainly see in this bill a learning from it. And there's no question. I think a lot of decisions were made in the grips of a pandemic, and your predecessor, Joe McHugh, I think did a valiant job when he was experiencing everything for the very first time. We have a little bit of an opportunity of space and time here, and a learning from last year to build upon. The AI error or the algorithm error certainly is something that benefited a certain cohort of students who got opportunities and got into courses on the back of the erroneous grade and are there now. I would be interested in an analysis of how they performed in their first year, bearing in mind the context, which is horrendous for first year students, certainly in third level. But I would be interested to see, because I think that if they don't show a rate of attrition, it reinforces that idea that ongoing assessment, that the supports are there for the people who benefited from the calculated grades and how it worked. I think that we have that quality assurance built in here, and I really appreciate that, Minister. I think it's a very good decision on your part, but really important that we see the benefit of that. I think that last year's class, we had a tale of two. In my own home constituency of Dublin South Central, we had a tale of two Leaving Certs. We had the schools that historically didn't have huge numbers going into third level, who got people into third level for the first time, or got much higher numbers into third level, and that was fantastic, and that was where ongoing assessment is underpinned and supported as a means for assessment and accessing an equality of opportunity that should be there. And then we also had those who made sacrifices, put their children through grind schools, put their children into private schools. Maybe only one of their children who had an aspiration for medicine went into a fee-paying school to work the system as the system has been presented to them for their entire lives. And they found themselves disadvantaged, just as the German school was. And very disappointing. So I would like to see a red circling of them, because they've been thrown back into the CAO results and into the lottery that is this October or this August. And I think that it's really important that we do something for them, or we consider something for them. And I appreciate that may be more Minister Harris's area. I want to come back to maybe a little bit of what Senator Éireann said. I have a problem with aspiration. I have a problem that if you go to a school, you're from a particular community, there is a narrative projected forward for your life that if you get to Trinity, you will get to Trinity probably through the Access programme, which is fantastic. And I have worked with numerous young people to get there. But my problem is, if you come from go to a different school, go to a different community, there's an assumption that you will go to third level. I want that narrative to change. I want it to change in communities. We shouldn't have, based on a lottery of where you're born and educated, that your ambition and the assessment of your future and what your capacity and competence could be is limited. And we have DEIS schools who this year didn't have IT supports, didn't have the home system, were sharing phones, were whatever, and we need to assess that and put in place those supports and make sure that those schools have every opportunity and that the language that's spoken at them is that they can be whatever they want to be and that we will put the supports in behind them to make sure that they get there.
Okay,
Thank
Senator
you.
Murphy.